Is it Joe Exotic?
Hey guys, what is up? I hope that you have had an amazing week. Welcome to Joe Exotic TV. I'm Michael Robinson. I am part of Joe's team, currently serving as Joe's press secretary, his presidential press secretary for his presidential campaign during the 2024 election cycle. And as promised on Saturday nights, I will come live, give you guys updates, news, all of those sorts of things that tie into what is happening with Joe, with Joe's story, with Joe's case, all of the information you need to know about what is happening with Joe currently. So that is why we are here and hanging out this evening. And I'm glad that you are joining us. So wherever you are in the world, thank you for being here. What I want you to do is take just a moment and hit the share button down there at the bottom. Hit the like button, give a thumbs up to this feed to make sure that more people know we're here this evening. I've got some incredible stuff to share with you, some letters that we got directly from Joe, and I want to give you an update and information that you can share, things that you can be in the know, things that you can do to also support Joe during this time. He's still currently in solitary confinement in a federal prison system. So I want to make sure that you are aware of the details, what is happening. And so while you're here, make sure that those of you who love Joe, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you do that. Subscribe to the channel. You can also set your alerts to go live. Anytime that we show up here on Saturday evenings, we're going to spend anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes with you. We're going to have different guests from time to time that will join us as well. And so we're very, very thankful that you're here. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be happening every single week on Saturday evenings between 7 and 8 p.m. And so we're excited to have you here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being a part of what is happening here at Joe Exotic TV. So glad you guys could join us. One of the things that we want to talk about, as many of you know, if you're a fan, a supporter, a long time, just incredible part of the family of Joe Exotic and his entire wonderful, amazing legacy that he built, protecting animals, taking care of people, and bringing joy to the world. Many of you probably fell in love with Joe during the pandemic season, a time when we were going through changes in this country that are hard to explain. Many of us under lockdown, businesses shut down, life was changing, and this incredible phenomena happened with the Tiger King on Netflix. And so you got to know Joe. Maybe you fell in love with Joe. Maybe you were scratching your head. Joe's quite the character, but I will tell you this, and you will hear Joe's heart in some of what I get to share with you tonight. And so I think those of you who are looking deeper than just entertainment and a character on television, you got to see the incredible, amazing, just beauty of who Joe is. And so I literally am just grateful that I get to step in and share this. So I've been killing a little bit of time, wanted to give you time to fill up the room, and wanted to make sure that folks are here so that we can share this and talk about this together. So over the last couple of weeks, we've had some communication struggle with Joe because the federal prison system has changed their requirements. It used to allow you to send 5 pages in to somebody who's in solitary confinement. So our team, we mailed things to Joe that had 5 pages in it. Those things were returned to us because the system is messy and screwy. So we've, in the last couple of weeks, been able to turn up that communication, been able to get things from Joe. And so I want to read some letters to you from Joe, some things that Joe wanted me to share directly with you during our time. And literally, listen, professional food critic, you're kind of a dick. So if you're going to hang out in here and be kind of a dick, then out of here. Because the deal is, I got to give time to make sure people are here. I want people to find out what's going on. How is Joe doing? He's doing great. He's doing okay. He is not getting the proper treatment for his cancer right now. He is not being able to access proper food and the things that he needs. And so I want to make sure that you guys understand Joe right now in solitary. We know this from the letters that were sent to us. He is not getting his 3 meals a day. He's having to brush his teeth using a dish rag. They will not give him toothpaste, a toothbrush, any of those things. They're not bringing the things in to him that he needs. And so he is not getting honored with his time out of that cell. He's in a small concrete box, and they are treating him worse than an animal. And so it's really important to understand. So when I read these things from Joe here in just a second, I just want you to know, we can kind of have some perspective on that. That Joe's in there, he's hanging on. It's hard. It's a struggle. Solitary confinement is rough for anyone. And by the United Nations standards, anything beyond day number 15 in solitary confinement is considered cruel and unusual punishment. Currently, right now, Joe is over 20 days. He's over actually 23 days in solitary, or 22 days would be completed today in solitary confinement. And it is unbelievable. And these things have to change. So I want to read these letters from Joe, and so I'm going to pull them up here and allow you to see. You can probably see this on your screen. I've just got the screenshots of them right here, so you can see the letters that we got from Joe, so you can see what's going on. All right, so this one, Michael, it says, read this on a live broadcast. I'm sitting here in a tiny little concrete room, wondering where it all went wrong. It was by believing in my country and the Constitution of the United States, and the fact that it gives me the right to a fair trial. The minute I ask for a fair trial, America punished me by adding 20 more charges to make sure that the crime they created would stick. Then the DOJ employees, 2 assistant attorneys, Amanda Green and Charles Brown, a federal wildlife officer who clearly knew the witnesses were lying against me. And not only did they know that they were lying against me, but they helped them lie. Every time I brought up James Garretson and the fake IDs or the fake driver's license, they would shut me down. Amanda Green covered for him and asked him if maybe they were just being used to get into strip clubs when they weren't. And we can prove that now. We have copies of the fake IDs, signed leases for sex trafficking, and none of the truth was told at the trial because the DOJ controlled the entire narrative. They put me on trial over sexuality, over the Big Cat Safety Act, and they knew then, and we have proof now, I did not mail that phone. Alan did not go to Florida. Alan and everyone else has since admitted to perjury and conspiracy and a plot to kill me. This wouldn't even be a federal case if the DOJ didn't lie to make it one. And Eric Good, the producer over at Netflix that helped put out Tiger King, didn't pay those witnesses $5,000 during my trial to keep the agenda so that he could get rich and make a movie. I think the saddest part is that my brother Yari, he admitted then that he and Chelsea were in on this from the start, only because they were afraid that my mom and dad would spend all of their money helping us build the park and they would get nothing when they passed away. And so they had to get mom and dad's power of attorney. They had to get it away from me and get it all in their name before they died. Things that you need to know from Joe. This is Michael. I have no family. Mom and dad both died while I've been in here. They destroyed my house and my zoo. And you got to ask yourselves, why did they leave something so famous just to be a ghost town and rot away? Were they really that jealous, or was this really politically motivated? He asked me then to go. We have incredible proof, photos and documents, the video testimony, all of those things to go and share it with congressmen and senators. That's why we're working so hard to get to D.C., to be able to have these meetings, to be able to meet with people. And he literally says, and I think it's a question we can all ask to President Biden, to former President Trump, that when a man like Joe lives and walks this earth, for, as he says, for 55 years, he stayed out of trouble. Is this the kind of American dream that we all want to be a part of? Is this the kind of American dream that we all want to be a part of? See, what you got to understand, and you can go over right now and take a look at joeexotic2024.com/evidence. You can take a look at it. All the evidence is there. As Joe said, my attorneys have the evidence to get me home. But it was not good if a judge never has to answer a motion for a new trial just in hopes that I die in here and I go away. He says, I need you as my family. He's talking to me. He's talking to you. He's talking to all of us. I need you guys as my family all over the world to rise up to President Biden and to make this right and at least commute my sentence if he's too blind to see that I deserve a pardon. And let me go back to helping people around the world. This is something I was talking about in a broadcast that we did today. One of the beautiful things, if you go back and you watch Tiger King and you really pay attention to the beauty of who Joe is, that Joe would take the money that he had, his resources, his finances, and at different times of the year, feed the community. He would reach out to those in need. He would make sure that folks had the things that were necessary just to meet basic primary needs. Joe's a generous man. He would take the shirt off his back and give it to anybody. I mean, maybe a flamboyant, crazy cowboy shirt, but he would do it to make sure. See, one of the things that's so incredible, I think, about Joe and why I love Joe so much is that he is a man of integrity. He's honest. He's transparent. Always has been. He didn't hide anything. It's not like there's any skeletons in the closet there. Joe's very transparent, maybe too transparent at times, honestly. But he's a good dude. And it's important for us to respect and honor that, whether we like it or not. That's the beauty of being in America. And it's time for us to step up and call out. The justice system is waiting for a statute of limitations to run out. The statute of limitations on perjury in Joe's trial runs out late this year. So if no one will review his case, and that is why I believe his appeal case is sat for 14 months without a federal judge being willing to take a look at it, because they're waiting on a statute of limitations to run out so that their entire scheme doesn't crumble on them, so the house of cards doesn't fall, so the dominoes don't come crashing down on them. It's really important to understand that, guys, because the entire system is messed up. It's corrupted. It's colluded. And it's messy. We have a multi-tier justice system in this country. You have the elites who become untouchable. You have the people that nobody cares about because there's no need. And then you have the poor and the problems. And Joe falls into both of those categories because he's a problem. He's speaking about the corruption in the justice system. And he's got nothing. When we talk about Joe running for president, I was talking about this today on a broadcast, is I love our slogan. What do you have to lose? Let's be real honest. We can put politicians in office now today who are polished politicians who play in the system, who play by the games. They've got little strings attached to them like marionette puppets, and they're being used to accomplish an agenda. Or you can put somebody in there who's got nothing to lose, who can step up to the plate and make a difference. To make a difference. And it's time that we step up for that. Why do we want to step up and fight for Joe? Let's all go out there in our social media, in our places. Let's reach out to our senators and our congressmen and women. Let's reach out to them and say, why will you not look at this? Why will you not consider this case? This is a man wrongfully convicted who's being left to die in prison, who's not being treated fairly. Guys, I will tell you 100%. I have crazy haters online because of the work I do with animals. And I will tell you this, just because somebody makes a crazy side remark about the way my animals are cared for. I've had federal agents and animal control and all of that come and show up in my house as late as yesterday, looking at the care, making sure, measuring cages, making sure food is right, checking expiration dates, all these things for animals, while Joe is being stuck in a concrete box, left there without medical treatment, not being fed 3 times a day, not even being given a toothbrush, having to brush his teeth using a rag. The federal prison system is nothing more than a glorified, legalized human trafficking disaster that is destroying lives in this country. And it's time for us to step up and take it back. That's why Joe's running for president. That's why Joe continues to speak out. That's why Joe is not afraid of the system. What do you have to lose? What does Joe have to lose? Nothing. But what he does know is that it matters for him to step up and stand up and fight for you and for me and for this country, because if they can do it to Joe, they'll do it to you. Don't think that's not true. So as Joe said, it's time for us to stand up and to be his voice, as his community, as his family, as the people who are here online right now. Those of you who love Joe, who've been watching Joe, step up to the plate. Fight hard. Fight hard to have his voice heard. because he shouldn't be where he is today. He shouldn't be there. So I want to challenge you. Step up to the plate. It's time that we step up to free Joe Exotic. It's time for us to free Joe Exotic. It is absolutely 100% time for us to do that. You can give to the campaign that is helping to get our team to Washington to hold a press conference there to speak directly in front of the White House, to speak to congressmen and senators. We would love to have your support for that. It really would be an incredible thing to have your support for that. But more than anything, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't looked, there's literally hundreds of videos, lots of information, affidavits, documents, all of that stuff that you see at this address right here at the bottom of your screen, joeexotic2024.com/evidence. Make sure you go check it out. Make sure you're there. It really does matter, guys. As Joe said, I have no family. Joe's mom and dad passed away since Joe's been in prison. His brother has turned his back on him. He has nobody left but you and me and everybody else in the world who loves Joe. And it's time for us to step up and do what family does. Speak. Be the voice. Be the people who step up and make a difference. Be the ones who help. It's time for us to speak up. If Alan Glover is brave enough to say, I'm willing to actually go back to prison to make sure that Joe gets free, I'm willing to speak the truth no matter what it costs me. If everybody else has gone on record to say that it was all lies, that it was all perjury, we need to step up and we need to demand justice, and we need to do it now, because if we don't do it now, we may miss the window of getting that justice. And if we miss it for Joe, we miss it for us. If we miss it for Joe, we miss it for us. So it's time that we step up and we make a difference. Make sure you're there, guys. Because I'm so grateful for you being here. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have some incredible guests joining us. It's going to be an incredible time. We're going to share some incredible animals with you, because this wouldn't be Joe's channel if we weren't showing up and sharing the animals. But tonight I wanted to get on and take this moment to share what is happening with Joe, to give you those letters, to let you hear Joe's words, let you know he's still hanging in there. He's still fighting, but it's time for us to step up and make a difference. It's time for us to step up and make a difference. Hugely. And so let's get in there and let's fight. Let's step up to the plate and fight for our right. Let's end this junk crap that's happening out there. The Big Cat Safety Act is destroying the rights in America. The way the animal rights activists keep showing up and trying to treat animals as if they're human beings and give them all of these rights and things, and take away our ability to live life with these animals, to be able to step up to the place where we get to be in this beautiful relationship with nature around us. And we're going to share that with you over the next couple of weeks. We want you to be able to see that, the beauty that I get to share each and every day with the animals that we work with. And we want to preserve that right. We want to preserve for the future. I want my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids to have these incredible experiences. They used Joe in a pond to pass a law that destroyed things. They've been systematically destroying people and sanctuaries and the folks who poured their lives into animals for so many years. And we've got to stop it. We need leadership that's going to step into place and say, we're going to quit stripping away the rights of the American citizen. We're going to quit stripping away the rights of people who do the good work. And there's a lot of good ones out there. There are a lot of the individuals who worked in the story, maybe some of the other characters that you know in the Tiger King, who had things taken away from them that shouldn't have been taken away. It's time for us to step up and fight, because guess what? If we don't step up and fight, they're going to keep doing it. They screwed Joe. They'll screw you. It's time for us to step up. It's time for us to step up to the plate. It's time for us to make sure that we don't allow Carol or anybody else to continue to take away our rights, to send those lobbyists to Washington to shill for these idiots at PETA and all these other organizations who are out there trying to destroy your ability to even have a dog or a cat. Believe me, you think they're going to stop at the cats. You think they're going to stop at the monkeys. You think they're going to stop at the crazy animals. They're coming after your dog, your cat, your goldfish, your hamster. It's time for us to step up. And if we don't put some leadership out there for us, to speak for others, it's going to screw every one of us. So I'm telling you right now, we got to step up together and we got to fight for this thing. We got to fight for this thing. We got to fight for this thing. All right, so let's get out there. Let's ask Joe Biden. Let's ask our senators and congressmen, why won't you look at this? Why won't you talk about this? And when you think about fighting for Joe, when Joe runs for office, I know a lot of people are not sure what to do with that, but I'm telling you right now, this was a country founded by the people, for the people. This was about a government that was elected by the people. That's the only democratic thing that's in this country. It's a constitutional republic where our rights and freedoms granted by God, who gave us the breath in our lungs, is guaranteed and protected for us. It is absolutely time for us to step up to the plate and fight. and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. We got to go. We got to go. We got to do it, guys. Not just for Joe, but for you and me, for this country, and for the future. Let's get out there and fight. Let's put a leader in there who will tell those folks on those cucks who sit on Capitol Hill, you work for us. We don't work for you. We're not your slaves. We're not here just to make money and pay taxes so you can pad your pockets. We elected you. You will serve us at our pleasure. You will guide this country and protect our rights and our freedoms. It is time for us to step up to the plate and make it happen. 100%. We need it. This country needs it, and it's time. We need some folks that have enough balls to step up and call out the truth and make sure that our rights and our freedoms are protected. And Joe might be that person, because what do you have to lose? Let's go. Let's go, guys. Guys, thanks for being in here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for being a part of everything. Thank you for supporting Joe. Thank you for loving on him. Make sure you get out there. You can go check out joeexotic.com/evidence. Check out all of that evidence, and make sure that you familiarize yourself with all of those things there. Lots of great information for you to digest. And also, you can get in there and take a look at ways that you can support Joe right now while he's in prison. So right here, you'll see it at the bottom of the screen, joeexotic2024.com/solitary. Get in there. Make sure you do that. You can send Joe a note, a letter, something like that, and make sure that you love on Joe, encourage him. He needs it now more than ever. And when you get over there, we have campaign merchandise. You can use the code MONKEYS. You'll see that. See, I always do this wrong. Right there. See, it's all on first. You can use the code MONKEYS right there, MONKEYS, and get 20% off of your campaign merchandise. Get a hat, get a t-shirt, support Joe. Make sure it happens. Please, please, please do that to support the campaign. We are grateful. We're thankful for that support, because, again, it's not just for Joe. It's for all of us. Absolutely 100% for all of us. Thank you guys for being in here. Thank you for being a part of this. Guys, I want you to have a great Saturday night. We'll see you again next week. We're going to have an incredible guest with this next Saturday night. We're going to share some great animals with you, and so grateful that you're here. So, guys, have an amazing Saturday night. We'll see you again soon. And, again, thank you so much. Let's go out there. Let's be the voice, and let's step up and stand up for Joe. Guys, have a good night. Bye.